There's a kind of loneliness that doesn't hurt anymore. It just stays, like dust collecting on furniture that no one touches anymore, like a hunger that stopped screaming because no one ever fed it. Denji lived there, in that quiet, dirty corner between survival and dream. A boy who sold pieces of himself for rent, who killed devils to pay for bread, who slept beside a dog with a chainsaw in its chest and still called it home. He didn't want much, not fame, not power, just a meal that didn't come out of a can, a bed that wasn't cold, someone to say, "You did good." That's the thing about people who've never been loved. They don't dream of happiness, they dream of proof that they exist, and that's what made him so easy to break. When Makima smiled at him, it wasn't lust that took over, it was hope. A quiet, trembling hope that maybe, for once, someone saw him as more than an animal. She didn't need to seduce him, she just needed to notice. Because for Denji, attention was everything. A pat on the head, a kind voice, a soft smile. That's all it took to build a leash. He called it love, but it wasn't love. It was control disguised as comfort. It was obedience wearing perfume. And the moment he finally touched her, the moment he finally got everything he thought he wanted, he felt nothing, just emptiness. Because lust fades the second it's satisfied, and love isn't supposed to leave you hollow. That's the tragedy Fujimoto writes better than anyone. He doesn't draw beauty, he draws truth. Ugly, awkward, shaking truth. Hands that reach but never meet. Eyes that say everything except what they really mean. His art bleeds. It trembles. It doesn't flatter you. It exposes you. Denji wasn't in love with Makima. He was in love with the idea of her, with the illusion that someone like her could fill the hole in his chest. He wanted to be touched so badly he forgot to ask why. And when that illusion shattered, when he finally saw her for what she was, he realized something horrifying. He didn't know what love was, he never did. Then came Rize, sweet human Rize, the one who laughed, who teased, who looked at him like he was just a boy, not a dog, not a weapon, just Denji. And for a moment, it felt real. The wind was softer, the world slowed down. He could almost believe he deserved her. But that's how obsession works. It always feels like peace at first, until you realize it's just another trap. Rize was warmth that wasn't meant to last. And when she was gone, he didn't rage. He just went quiet again. Like someone who stopped believing the sun was ever real. That's the genius of Chainsaw Man. It's not about monsters. It's about people who never learned how to love, people who confuse hunger with meaning, touch with truth, need with connection. And then there was power, the loudest, messiest, most human thing in Denji's life. She didn't flirt with him, she didn't manipulate him, she didn't even try to understand him, she just was. Their love wasn't romantic, it was chaotic, stupid, pure. They fought, they screamed, they laughed, they shared a toilet, a bathtub, a nightmare. And somehow, in all that noise, Denji finally found silence, the kind that doesn't come from emptiness, but from peace. Power taught him that intimacy doesn't need to burn, that love doesn't have to prove itself, that sometimes just existing beside someone can be enough. And when he lost her, the world didn't explode. It just dimmed. Because losing something pure doesn't break you. It drains you. Quietly. Completely. I guess that's where I come in. No face. Because I get it. I get how fast obsession happens. How a simple message, a look, a moment, can make you spiral. How easy it is to build your world around someone who never asked you to. I get that anxiety, when they pull away, when the warmth cools just enough to make you doubt, when you start checking if you did something wrong, even though you didn't. You call it connection, but it's dependence. You call it love, but it's fear. You tell yourself it's passion, but it's panic. disguised as meaning. And Fujimoto knows that pain too well. Every panel in Chainsaw Man screams it. That desperate need to be seen, to be held, even if it kills you, to mistake a leash for a hug. But love isn't supposed to consume you. It's supposed to free you. Love that lasts doesn't shout, it doesn't chase. It doesn't demand constant proof. It's quiet, it's still. It's the hand that stays, not the one that grabs. That's what Denji never had. That's what I'm still learning. Because love that burns too bright always leaves ashes. And love that's too loud never listens. Then there's Riz, the one that almost made it real. With her, it wasn't about control. It wasn't worship or hunger. It was something smaller, softer. A smile shared in the rain, a hand brushing too close, the kind of warmth that makes you forget how cold you've been. Riz made Denji feel young, and that's the cruelest part, because he never got to be young. Their love wasn't grand or tragic at first. It was awkward, nervous, the kind of love that lives between shy glances and half-finished sentences. It was teenage love, clumsy, impulsive, honest, the kind that feels eternal, even though it barely lasts a week. Fujimoto captured that perfectly, the way teenage love feels like falling forever, even though you're only standing still. You don't think, you don't plan, you just feel, and in that feeling you mistake freedom for forever. When Denji kissed Rez, the world didn't explode, it paused. For the first time, he wasn't chasing or obeying or performing. He was seen, and that moment, that heartbeat of connection, was enough to make him believe it could last. But teenage love doesn't last. Not because it's fake, but because it burns too bright for a world that keeps moving. Riz wasn't evil. She wasn't an angel either. She was just a girl who wanted to escape. And Denji was the boy who wanted to be chosen. They could have been something real if the world they lived in wasn't built to destroy softness. In another life, maybe they would have gone to school together, walked home together, shared boring mornings and silent nights. But in this one, they only shared a spark, and sparks don't live long enough to become light. That's what makes it beautiful. That's what makes it unbearable. Because teenage love, the kind that teaches you what loss feels like before you even understand love, it never truly dies. It just becomes part of the person you become after. And for Denji, that person was someone who learned that even the sweetest dreams come with blood on them. Maybe that's why love has to be silent to last. Maybe it's not supposed to save you, but to sit beside you, in the dark, in the quiet, in the parts of you that can't be fixed. Love, in the end, is just presence, the kind that doesn't vanish when you stop shining. The kind that stays even when there's nothing left to give. And maybe that's what Denji was really searching for. Not touch, not lust, not even love. Just a reason to stay human. Just someone to be quiet with.